Hello, this is Top20English.com. This is our video on learning vocabulary. We have hand selected, that is curated and aggregated what we think are the best videos and websites on the internet for learning vocabulary. This is our Top20English.com website. As you can see on the first column here, this is for those who are just getting started on learning English as a second language. And we've had videos on alphabets and phonics, and we've also had videos on our first 200 words. This is our own program for learning your first 200 words of English, and we highly recommend that. And then down at the bottom of this column, we have a section for vocabulary, and these are hand-selected sites that we recommend for learning vocabulary. This begins with vocabulary lists, and we use our own program here for learning the first 200 words. These are the 200 most common words in English. And we put these together both in terms of a list of the words, here like a word list, and this will take you to the first 200 words of English, and we've put these into translations and divide them by the parts of speech, and then put them such that if you click on the translations that we've done, this will put them into your native language. This is done through Google Translate with 103 different languages. So you just choose your language over here with this drop down, and you can learn these 200 words with translations into your own native language. The other part of this 200 word learning your first 200 words program that we've put together, we take these same 200 words and place them in sentences, such that these same 200 words are used in sentences, and again, we put them into translations that you can use and understand them in your own language. Going back to our vocabulary blog, the next one we recommend is First 200 Words by Lingua Marino, and this uses videos and examples just to learn the first 200 words, the first 100 words rather than 200 words. And this is used with examples, and we highly recommend this as well. Then we use Magoosh, which are flashcards, and these are the TOEFL 600 words in Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3, which is a good list of words to learn for vocabulary. The Merriam-Webster dictionary uses 300 core vocabulary words, and these are placed in categories for learning. The Oxford does the same thing with illustrations, and they take you to the definition and the pronunciation, and this is done alphabetically. This was a site we like to use, wordfrequency.com, and in this site, this is the first 5,000 words, the most common words in the English language. On the left-hand column, it lists them just as they are ranked in terms of the first 5,000 words. The middle column, they're described alphabetically. And on the right-hand column, it breaks them down by parts of speech. And these are just the list of the words without the pronunciation or the definition, but it's very useful for getting your list of words you might want to learn. The next part of the directory that we have for learning vocabulary has to do with picture dictionaries, and this is very, very useful, and we highly recommend Learning Chocolate, which we think is the best picture dictionary for learning words. And you can see that they will do any of these categories. They could choose your category up here. And for example, if you do food up here, it'll come to breaking the food down categories by really down into quite specific categories. And they will give you the pronunciation so that you can do condiments would be hot sauce and dressing, and it'll give the here's mayonnaise, for example, and it'll give you the pronunciation as well. Then after that, we recommend also here the language guide, which does something similar in terms of topics with Picture Dictionary. And Enchanted Learning is a very helpful site as well for learning as a picture dictionary. And Oxford Picture Dictionary uses videos as well with illustrations, and we recommend all four of these sites. And you can try each of them and choose which one best suits your method of learning. And then we also have the next one. We've accumulated vocabulary videos, and I highly recommend here the English vocabulary from Elf Kids videos. And when we say that there are for this site, you'll see that there are actually 130 different videos.
Yummy
here's your one on
vocabulary
food.
By Elf Learning. Here we go. An apple. An apple. A banana. A banana.
So of the picture dictionaries, those are very useful, and you can choose which one of the four you'd like. The next group we put here is vocabulary videos, and we highly recommend the English vocabulary from Elf videos. These are 129 different illustrated videos, and they're broken down by category. Something similar is done with basic vocabulary practice by Mark Kulik. The other two everyday action picture vocabulary you can try, as well as creative English vocabulary. On creative English vocabulary, you might click the settings and speed those videos up because they're fairly slow. You can, by using the setting at the bottom of the screen, you can speed the videos up somewhat. Then the next group is on vocabulary exercises, and these are done by word categories under English vocabulary exercises, and that's 2,100 words, and they're done with some exercises. Same with Enchanted Learning. And for example, here in Enchanted Learning, we use, they're broken down in different categories. These are the long E vocabulary words, and that's pretty useful list if you want to learn something like the long E vocabulary words. Other than the things we've listed here for exercises or professional English, these are a little bit different. They don't have exercises or worksheets, but this is a 2,000 word English words done with examples. And Memorize has 5,000 flashcards, which are readily available. And these are a list of other vocabulary directories. This is our own directory, which we recommend with the video we're doing today. But there's also a couple other directories. Learn English Online gives you a directory of vocabulary sites. EnglishGuide.org and Janus ESL are both helpful things for directories for learning vocabulary. And finally, we do vocabulary apps. These are vocabulary apps for building vocabulary. These are for Android, 10 best Android apps that are recommended by another group. And then these are Apple or iOS apps. And these are flashcard apps that are recommended. We have sites that are recommending that. And there's our own English blog for flashcards. And we discuss Memorize, Anki, Quizlet, Tiny Cards, Vocabulary.com, Cram, and Magoosh. And then space recognition is important. And there's another reference for flashcard apps for vocabulary. So this is the directory that we have for our blog for learning vocabulary for those students who are learning English as a second language. And we hope you find this to be very useful. Thank you.